What is going on, traders? A few things to talk about. It's going to be a pretty quick video. We're going to get straight into it. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get to the video. So today, really great day. Sorry, I just ate. All right, so today, really good day for the bulls. Like we talked about in the last video, semiconductors. I told you guys, pay attention to semiconductors because those things look like they want to absolutely take off, and that's exactly what happened. And so right now we're looking at the NQ. And the question is, are we going to continue to see more upside? Now, I know a lot of you are thumbnail warriors. You read thumbnails and you never actually listen to the video. I'm here to say that the video is about being cautious here. Okay, we want to be cautious here because it's very much possible that we see some type of pullback. I'm not saying a correction, I'm not saying a crash, I'm simply saying a pullback is very much possible here. All right, so if we're looking at the NASDAQ, as you guys can see, we're trading within this rising channel. Now we are kind of breaking out of the channel, but then after hours, or we were kind of breaking out the channel, but then after hours, you see that we're kind of dipping back within this channel here. Let's actually zoom in for, you know, the 50 plus and older. But you see that we're kind of breaking back within this channel, and so it's very much possible that we could see some downside here all the way towards our next key level of 22,250, 230 more or less. It's also important to note that if we look at the daily time frame, or actually the week, I believe it's the weekly time frame, right, you are pretty much at resistance here. It's a little bit off, but you guys get the idea. So at around 22,500, 22,450, you're seeing a bit of a resistance, or you're seeing the NASDAQ pretty much reject resistance right here. Now, it's not a convincing rejection just yet. We can very much, you know, blow through this. Maybe we get some news tomorrow, whatever the case may be, but it is important to pay attention to that key level on the weekly time frame. Feel free to check out your weekly time frame so you can mark that level out. But right now we're seeing that the NASDAQ is rejecting this level. It's very much possible that we form some type of evening star pattern here. If we continue towards the downside, and the key word is if here, then we can very much see a move further back down towards that 22,200 range, and lowest we could be looking at is about 22,100. Now, my personal opinion, I do think it's very much possible that we see a pullback before continuing to head towards new highs. I still think new highs is very much on the table. I just wouldn't be surprised we see some type of pullback before that happens. If you look at the triple Qs, right, you see that we have a gap all the way down here at the low 530s. It's actually on the daily. Let's go to the daily time frame. But you see that we do have some type of gap all the way at the low 530s, 532, 533. That's our key level. We talked about that level in the past. And so it's very much possible that we reject from here. If we reject from here or continue to reject from here on the NASDAQ, obviously triple Qs will follow along, and then, you know, you'll see maybe a move towards this level here, maybe the top of the gap fill at around 533, 534, or you break through and you see a move all the way towards 532. So that's something you definitely want to pay attention to, and that's why I'm urging to be pretty much cautious here, because you're trading right at previous highs, right? You're right at previous highs at around 540, which was a great move, but obviously you want to see us break and retest this level for us to continue to head higher. And if we do continue to head higher, it's very much possible that we head as high at minimum 544. Highest I'm looking at is about 560. We'll talk about that if we ever break these key levels here at around 540. 541 actually. All right, so again, when you're looking at the NQ, you just want to be cautious here. You are rejecting a major level here, so, you know, 22,500 major level here. You're trading at the top of this channel as well, so you definitely want to pay attention when it comes to trading for the rest of this week, especially when you're talking about upside. Right now, again, we can just blow through this, right? We can gap above this, but there's no way to tell that that's going to happen until, you know, the market opens, or whatever news we get is either positive or negative, right? So we definitely want to pay attention to this here. Rejection here. So obviously this is a very important level that we're trading at on the triple Qs. Right now I'm leaning to a possible dip before we continue back towards the upside, and I'm looking at around this gap fill 532, 533 before possibly bouncing and heading further towards the upside. If we look at the ES, pretty much the same thing. You guys see it here. I mean, you have multiple rejections in this area here. So rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. You guys see it all within this range here. A lot of rejection here, a lot of bears in this area right here. So it makes sense that we're rejecting from 6150, and we very much possibly, it's very much possible that we continue back towards the downside or reject towards the downside, right? So you want to be careful here once again. This is why I'm urging caution. Again, a lot of you just read thumbnails and don't actually listen. So I'm urging caution, all right? I'm just saying be cautious for a dip, and then we possibly rally all over again. Okay, so right now 6150 is your key level. Obviously you had a hard time getting above that key level. From here you're looking at a move towards 6100, 6110, 6100, somewhere around that range, basically where these guys are right about here. All right, so right about here is what you're looking at right here. Rejection here. You see we mounted here, and we could be trading in this range for quite some time. We'll see. But right now, that's the key level I'm looking at. As long as we stay below 6150, possibly break even lower. If we do break lower than 6110, 6100 psych level, then we're looking at a move as low as 6050. Okay, 6050 is what you're looking at. So again, just be careful, be cautious. When we look at the SPY, same thing. As far as the triple Qs go, you do have a gap that needs to get filled, or eventually will get filled all the way at 600. So again, don't be surprised that we, reject towards the downside. Historically, after Jerome Powell speaks, you get an initial move, and then you get a move after, or the real move after. So I wouldn't be surprised that, Jerome Powell spoke today in front of Congress, so it's very much possible that we see some downside tomorrow. And again, I'm not calling a crash. I'm not calling a correction or anything. I'm just simply saying this could simply be a dip before we continue back towards the upside. All right, so that's what we're looking at for the SPY. As you guys can see here, rejection here, rejection here. You had a bull trap here, and then you ended up rejecting back towards the downside. So definitely pay attention to this area here. Don't jump the gun. Don't go going crazy into calls. Do what you want ultimately. But me personally, I would just wait for some type of break and retest of this area at around 610. As far as new highs go, I do think it's very much possible that new highs can happen. 610, 613 is what I'm looking at. 612, 613 is what I'm looking at for the SPY. But I do imagine that before we make that happen, that we will need to see some type of liquidity grab back towards the downside. All right. So that's what we're looking at for the triple Qs. So semiconductors. I mean, like I've said before, guys, semiconductors are going to lead the way. Semiconductors looked absolutely bullish. We talked about it. I showed you guys, even in the Discord, our Discord bot alerted to us 147 calls. Those played out. I mean, they're pretty much deep in profit. So yeah, congratulations if you took those trades, if you were in the Discord as far as NVIDIA goes. But semiconductors, like I said, looks absolutely beautiful. Looks like they want to push further to the upside. NVIDIA, very much possible that NVIDIA can continue towards the upside. But again, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised you see maybe a dip towards the 140s, 142 before that move happens. Okay, so maybe we get one more dip, maybe we don't, but this is why I'm urging caution. So maybe you see a move like this. There is a slight fair value gap in this area here. And then we see a move back towards the upside, possibly even new highs. I'm looking at a 155 if we're talking about new highs for NVIDIA. So I don't necessarily think this rally is over. There's no signs of this being over just yet. But again, you just want to be cautious of a dip. Wait for a dip opportunity and then just buy. That's me. Do what you want with that information. All right, so NVIDIA looks great. Don't really have much for it as far as being above 144. Good sign. Your next key level is obviously 148. Right, we go to the daily time frame. Let's go back to the daily time frame here. Right, so right here where these guys are, we talk about these guys all the time. These bears right here, these bears right here. I mean, there's a lot of bears in this area. So I wouldn't be surprised that after we get some type of dip, if we get some type of dip, again, if that semiconductors get some type of news, whether it's MU earnings that maybe carries things, I don't know. But I do imagine that in order for NVIDIA to really break out of this range, we talk about this every time in the past. Every time NVIDIA gets within the range of these guys here, it rolls over, right? So here, NVIDIA broke towards the upside, rolled over, broke towards the upside, rejected here, broke towards the upside, rolled over again. So every time it gets within these massive bearish candles or these inside bar candles, it ends up rolling over. And so far, it looks like bulls are trying to push NVIDIA higher. But again, don't be surprised that we see some type of rollover effect just based off history. All right, so SMH. Semiconductor ETF. SMH looks, I mean, thing looks absolutely beautiful. We talked about this in the past. We talked about this in multiple videos. This is why I was saying semiconductors look like they are ready to explode towards the upside. And as you guys can see, your face is covered. Okay, so right now, when you're looking at SMH daily time frame, you broke above this trend here. You rejected here. You rejected here. You broke, retested, you consolidated. And like I said before, anytime you consolidate, there's a big move coming. The longer the consolidation, the bigger the move. So SMH is breaking above a key level right now, 270. So it's very much possible that you see more upside. This can turn into a bear trap. I mean, not bear trap, bull trap. But, me personally, I will wait 30 minutes into open. That's just me. But you can very much, again, feel this gap at around 261 before breaking much higher. Okay, so that's something you want to pay attention to when it comes to SMH. I think I showed you guys 275 calls in the past from our Discord bot. But yeah, SMH can head as high as these previous highs here at 280 if we're talking about, a long-term buying opportunity, or not a long-term, intermediate term buying opportunity. So SMH looks great. Don't really have anything negative to say about it. Again, worst case scenario, you just get a dip opportunity towards this area around here at get this gap fill at 262, 260, and then from there, very much possibly you just bounce back towards the upside. But if we are going to continue towards the upside, I would be looking at around 280. 275 obviously would be your first target, and 280 being your second target. Marvell, talked about Marvell in the past, guys. Again, like I said, I don't really like these guys right here. But again, I mean, if you're talking about like getting some really dated contracts, I think Marvell can definitely see the 100s. That's just me. Do what you want. Do your own due diligence. Do your own, do your own research. Okay, so Marvell, this thing looks okay. It doesn't look bad. It's just, again, on a daily time frame, I don't like this bearish candle right here. So I do think Marvell could possibly dip back towards the downside, but as long as it holds 70, honestly, if you want to take like a low risk trade, maybe get August calls or something like that, maybe July if you want to push it, I would look for the 90 strike, something like that, 90 strike, and then play off that. But do your own research, okay? Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. AMD. Like I said before, I think AMD, I said in the last video, I think AMD, it looks beautiful. It looks like it wants to go crazy. This gap fill, it is at gap fill resistance here. I tell you guys all the time, gaps have very strong support and resistance. We did trade AMD towards the upside. Nothing too crazy, but profit is profit. We'll take it. But yeah, as far as AMD goes, you're at some serious resistance right here. It's very much possible that you see a move towards this level here at 160, but I don't think that's going to happen until we get some type of dip. Okay, so again, I will be very careful with AMD. I will be careful with just the market in general. I would like to see AMD at least at a minimum retest this 133 level and see what happens from there before jumping back into calls and looking for a move all the way towards this gap fill at 160. So the market still looks pretty good in my opinion. It doesn't look too bad, right? It's just a matter of we're at some very key levels. Okay, we're at some very key levels. So Tesla kind of dumping after hours. Now the thing about Tesla is that you have this dark cloud cover pattern right here. This is a very bearish pattern, so I will be very careful with Tesla, especially since you broke back below 347. As long as you stay below 347, it's very much possible Tesla heads towards the low 330s. I've said this in the past. Anytime Tesla gets below 350, 330s is open. Anytime Tesla gets above 350, then 330s is not out the door, is out the door, and then you're looking at 370s. So you have this, if you go to the weekly time frame, right, you're rejecting this area right here, this massive pattern right here. I'm assuming this is an evening star pattern, but yeah, ultimately, I mean, Tesla is rejecting this area here, so you definitely want to be careful. You have this dark cloud cover pattern here. This is a bearish pattern. If Tesla manages to get below 336, 336, then you're looking at a move towards 333, 334 more or less, and then lowest you can go, at least in my opinion, is about 330s. If you manage to just break through this break below this consolidation here, then it's GG's. Okay, so be careful with Tesla. Upside seems like it's restricted here, especially when you got like this pattern here, these bears here, and a lot of bears here, and then you look at the weekly time frame, and you just got this whole pattern right here. So you want to be careful with Tesla. VIX. So VIX, interesting enough, VIX is bouncing off support right now. I mean, not support, yeah, support. It's actually pretty close to support. I want to say it's bouncing off support. 1740 is support, but if you are talking about more downside for the VIX and maybe the market pumps a little bit more, it can head as low as 17. We've seen what happens every time VIX hits 17 in the past, or it gets close to 17 in the past. You do see some type of bounce towards the upside. So here you bounced, here you bounced. And then I believe that's pretty much it for this year, because VIX makes its own rules every year. And then here you played a few games here, got as low as 16. But again, be careful at around 17 when it comes to the VIX. Be careful between 17 and 16 when it comes to the VIX. It seems like it's creating a new rule where every time it gets within this range between 17 and 16, it spikes towards the upside. So be careful here. You still got a little bit more potential downside to go. There is a gap up here as well. So it kind of aligns with the idea that SPY has a gap to the downside and Triple Qs has a gap to the downside. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions below, any comments, whatever the case may be. Let me know your thoughts. I have a crazy headache, so I'm going to go to sleep. Go to sleep. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think we're going to get a dip buying opportunity, or do you think we're just going to continue towards the upside and just gap like crazy, right? We do have a few more key events this week, right? So Definitely want to pay attention to those. But again, the video is about being cautious. It's not me calling some drop, not major crash or anything like that. It's just simply being cautious because we are at key levels for all you people who just have the attention span of a goldfish. But other than that, that's all I have. Until the next video, traders, have a good one.